Hello, everyone, and welcome to a new episode of the Cultural Diplomacy Podcast. In this episode, we will explore Croatia. Diplomatic relations between Croatia and Romania were officially established in 1992, shortly after Croatia's independence, and since then, the two countries have enjoyed a constructive partnership. Structured as a parliamentary democracy, Croatia is a country of remarkable cultural diversity and natural beauty, from its Adriatic coastline with the thousands of islands to historic cities and UNESCO World Heritage Sites. When we think Croatia, we think of turquoise seas, old medieval towns like Dubrovnik, and a country where tradition meets modernity. But beyond the postcard beauty, Croatia is also a dynamic nation with a vibrant cultural life, a strong academic environment, and a growing economy. Today we have the great honor of welcoming Her Excellency, Mrs. Marija Kapitanovic, the Ambassador of Croatia to Romania, to guide us through the many layers of Croatian identity, from its cultural richness to its economic partnerships. Welcome to a journey into the heart of Croatia. Hello and welcome. Thank you for accepting our invitation to join our podcast, and thank you for hosting us in this beautiful residence of the embassy.
Thank you very much for proposing me the interview, and I'm very glad to host you in the embassy and to meet each other again. We used to meet each other also for different occasions like National Day and the promotion of the Croatia Airlines direct flights.
Always a pleasure. Your Excellency, I know Croatia's history has been shaped by diverse influences like Mediterranean, Central European and Balkan. How have these layers of history contributed to shaping Croatia's cultural identity?
It has contributed a lot because Croatia, I always say, it's a small country. We are less in this period than 4 million inhabitants in the country, although we have a significant diaspora abroad. But for such a small country, we have a great regional variety, diversity, due to, I would say, the particular shape we do have. Croatia goes like this. It's like a this contributed to the fact that there were, during the centuries of the Croatian statehood, there were different differences from different parts of Europe. Continental Croatia is a Central European Croatia, mostly, with the influences also of the Balkan culture. The coast Croatia, the maritime Croatia, was mainly under the influence of the Mediterranean culture, in premise of the Italian one, because big part of the coast was for centuries under Venetian ruling, Serenissima, then later on under the Austro-Hungarian as well. So there were different, but mostly Mediterranean one. I would say those are two big differences. Then in the central part of the Croatia, which is the tightest one, the mountain part of Croatia, this part was under the influence of the also of the neighboring countries, and this part was also exposed at the time of the Ottoman Empire. Basically, this part was defending, I would say, kind of Europe from the, at the time, Ottoman Empire military actions and so on and so on. So basically, yes, in a way we are at the crossroads of the different cultures, but in a way that we nowadays, when it comes to the cuisine, to the culture, to the traditional habits, we can say that we have a lot of different influences that benefits also our everyday life. From cuisine, for instance, we have also many, like in Romania,
Yes.
influences of the Turkish cuisine. One of them is sarmale. You call it sarmale, we call it sarma.
Sarma.
Yes.
Cities like Dubrovnik, Split, and Zagreb are known worldwide. In your view, what makes Croatian cities such unique hubs for culture, creativity, and tourism?
All the cities that you mentioned, and there are also many other cities, especially both in the central part and on the coast. They have many layers of history. That's what makes them, I would say, special. And when I say many layers of history, there are cities like the cities, I don't know, on the Eastern Peninsula. The capital of the Eastern Peninsula is the city where there is the amphitheater.
Yes.
Amphitheater from the first century that was built under the Roman Emperor Vespasian. Zagreb, it's a city, a dynamic city. It's of course the capital. It's the economic hub of Croatia, and mainly when it comes to the cultural specificities, Austro-Hungarian architecture, Austrian architecture. Dubrovnik was for centuries kind of independent territory, Republic of Dubrovnik, and they were very good in trading both with the Venetian Republic and with the Ottomans. That's about, they are very well known about that skills, trading skills. But that's definitely contributed to these different layers of the history that one can see in the Croatian cities. It's what makes them attractive, and it's what makes them attractive, especially when it comes to the tourism, because many of the cities are on the coast.
Yes.
So this is a perfect blend of the cultural tourism and the vacation tourism.
Croatia is also known for its remarkable cultural and artistic heritage, like literature, architecture, and music. How does the country, let's say, preserve and promote not only the old, let's say, this legacy, but also the new generation of artists?
We do support a lot, mainly through the Ministry of Culture, but also on the local level, by the local, when I say local level, this means regional level and level of the cities and municipalities. At every level of the public service, there is support to cultural activities, especially in connection with the tourism, because this is part also of our touristic promotion, and the tourism is one of the biggest pillar and the main pillar of our economy. So this has been developed through years, through decades. It's that's I would say decades work on how to promote Croatia. When it comes to the young artists, definitely we do pay very much attention to promote a new generations. This is also what the embassy does, because we also want to promote Croatia as in terms of getting to know better the modern society, the contemporary one. And through different programs, through promotion of these artists abroad. In particular, we have a very prolific generation of the writers, the modern, the contemporary one. I would not dare to say the young one, because some of them are middle-aged,
Yes.
but the contemporary one, which is what is important, because they speak about the contemporary Croatia, contemporary society, and this is what makes Croatia and their promotion abroad, with the support of the Ministry of Culture, sometimes also, I don't know, with the city or with the different promotion of different city levels, like city of Zagreb in particular, makes Croatia more familiar in terms of what Croatia is today. This goes also when it comes to the visual arts. We have also very good production, music, new composers.
What can you tell us about some traditional Croatian festivals or custom that you believe are central to the national identity?
We have a whole network of traditional festivals. So there is one category is the network of traditional festivals. Many of them take place during the summertime, or let's put it during the more during the period of time when it's possible to organize the events in the open space.
Yes.
And again goes hand in hand with the tourism. And then the second category is the category of the international festivals as well, but not necessarily traditional one. When it comes to the traditional, we have like Đakovo embroidery. Đakovo, it's a city in the continental Croatia. And then this is the festival showcasing the folklore, the gastronomy, the traditional activities connected with how it used to be once upon a time. One of them also very well known, it's the lace making festival. One of the small town in the continental part of Croatia, it's very well known for this lace making. And this is something that is also part of the non-material heritage of the UNESCO list.
Yes.
So for instance, this is this kind of. And then on the other hand, there are international festivals. Mainly most of them organized on the coast and in the capital, for like film festival in the amphitheater that I was talking previously about, this amphitheater from the 1st century. Film festival, very well known. Once upon a time it used to come to the festival people like, I don't know, Sophia Loren, Richard Barton. But this was really
very
long time
famous
ago. Yes, at that time it was
artists.
very famous artists. Then the second one, like a Dubrovnik summer festival. Mainly having on the program concerts, but also drama. Then having on the program different exhibitions and so on. I don't know, Dubrovnik Festival. It used to be some of the performance used to be as well in the past, like Zubin Mehta as the director of the orchestra. Split as well. Split Festival, Summer Festival, is very well known by the opera lyrics performances. So there is a whole, and then there are many others. Let me just mention in Zagreb, for instance, Anima Fest. So this is the festival of the short films. Then DocuFest. It's a very well-known fest held in Zagreb, documentary films.
What can you tell us about sport and lifestyle in Croatia?
Sport is definitely an area of where Croatia, I would dare to say, exceeds its size, because basically in different types of the sports, Croatia records very good results, and this is one of the area of the Croatian society for which Croatia is very well known worldwide. And I mean, when I say worldwide, it doesn't mean Europe, but outside of the Europe.
Yes.
That's what I
Yes.
mean. That's what. First of all, football. Football. Croatian football dress is very well known, red and white.
Yes.
But apart from the football, for instance, there are 3 or 4 basketball players that are in the Hall of Fame of Springfield. Then water polo, individual sports, athletes, tennis players. We do have a tennis player that won Wimbledon, US Open, Davis Cup. So basically, sport, I would dare to say, it's something that is one of the most successful brand of Croatia, and where Croatia is really easily recognizable. And in that sense also we as a diplomacy and as the embassy, of course, whenever there are some competitions in Romania, we do take part and we support our teams.
Croatia has a growing presence in Romania through cultural diplomacy. What aspects of Croatian tradition and heritage would you like the Romanian public to discover more deeply?
We do have indeed, and we pay indeed a lot of attention to cultural diplomacy, because I'm very much of the opinion that through the culture, the Romanian public, not only in Bucharest but in other parts of Romania, can get much more familiar with Croatia. For instance, the western part of Romania, it's I would dare to say more familiar with Croatia because of the geographical vicinity. And also more people from the western part do go to spend the holidays in Croatia and so on. When it comes to Bucharest area and eastern part, I would say that there is much more room to get to know Croatia. That's why cultural diplomacy is very important. What are our priorities? To get to know modern, contemporary Croatian society. How? Through participation in a film festival. The embassy participated in many film festivals held in the whole territory of Romania. One of them, particularly European Film Festival. We participate every year. This year we have an outstanding project, cultural project. I would dare to say one of the biggest ones since we established diplomatic relation, which is the exhibition Parallel Line Croatian Modernism, Croatian High Modernism in the period of the 1949-1998. It is about Croatian avant-garde art, visual art, and the exhibition is in place in the Museum of Contemporary Art in Bucharest.
So it's open for the public?
Yes, it's open for the public. The exhibition is still there until the October, so for all those who would like to see actually half a decade of the Croatian visual art.
Yes.
I invite all of them, still they have some time to go and to see the exhibition. And it says a lot about Croatia.
Your Excellency, how was the transition from your life in Croatia to adapting to various cultures in the countries where you have served as a diplomat?
I would say that the first one is the most difficult one. The first one, when you move from your home, from your country to another country, no matter how are you excited and eager to start a new chapter, professional but also the private one. But the first one, let's say the first, it's the most challenging one. Later on, somehow you get used to. I didn't believe at the beginning, because first time when I moved, my first position as a diplomat was in Italy, in Rome. But nevertheless, it's challenging, because it's not that you just change your professional environment. No matter, you are still a member of the ministry,
yes.
But still you move in another country and you start another chapter of your work. But on the other hand, there is also private part that basically you have to adapt to the new country, which can, Italy is not far away, but still there are slightly different differences, in a way of life. In a way of administrational, bureaucratic things and so on. So, but then later on this becomes part of the life, and one gets to used to it.
What inspired you to pursue a career in diplomacy?
I think that my main, the main reason why I decided to continue my career in the diplomacy, because apart from the positive aspects and very dynamic and the creative aspects, there are also less one, because you are, for instance, far away from your broader family, from your parents and so on. But what inspired me definitely was this desire to get to know other countries, to get to know other people, because those are all aspects that enrich you, or not only on the professional level, but also when it comes to the private level, personal level.
Yes.
And I think that was one of the main reason why I decided to embark on this journey, to get to know the other cultures, the other countries, and to see as well, which is very much important, because I am a public servant. So to contribute also to the promotion of my own country, and also to the economic promotion, but also to cultural promotion. I think this is something that is the first duty of the public servants.
What other profession do you think you would have enjoyed doing? I mean, if you hadn't chosen a career in diplomacy.
Teaching. When I finished the faculty, I graduated the Faculty of Arts and Letters in Zagreb, and I was teaching in the first period in one high school, and definitely teaching would be my second choice, because it's a very human profession, and you can see the effects of your work immediately on the pupils.
How would you describe a typical workday in your life as an ambassador?
It's never the same. So every day it's different. It's dynamic. It's not an office job, because I have a lot of meetings, social contacts. A lot of our job and of our profession is about the social contacts, meeting different people. And then later on, so you have a lot of meetings, and then once you come back in the office, then you put it on the table, and then you see, okay, now we can do this, we can do that. So every day it's pretty different. And but also, these are the aspect that I like about my profession, is that you can be creative, and you do have also a certain level of how to say. So you have a certain level of autonomy, that you can plan, and you can make a plan, and you can make a kind of a strategy. What are the topics that are important for your country and for the host country, where we can meet, what we can develop, different projects, and this is a very nice part of my job.
What advice you would give to a young person interested in pursuing a career in diplomacy, considering your experience?
The advice I would give to the young persons, I think that the young generations are the generations that are used to get the information immediately.
Yes.
That are used to get that are used to do the things quickly. This has an advantage. It's
can be an advantage, but also
exactly. But also, my advice would be, first of all, to be persistent, to put effort, and to put time to get to know the things, to go into details, because that's why I'm stressing this, because nowadays generations are used, as I mentioned, to get everything quickly. But not everything is in this, because, for instance, for the diplomacy, it's very much important to be able to analyze the things, to see the things from the different angles, to be able to get to know and to understand the people in front of you, the society. For instance, my host society in this very moment is your society, the Romanian society. So I have to be able to understand the society, to be open to see the similarities, to see the differences, to see different points of view. This is very much important. So, especially to be open-minded, to be open to the new mentalities, to the new ideas, to different traditions. This is very important in our profession.
I'm curious if there are any specific educational exchanges currently taking place between Croatia and Romania.
When it comes to the educational exchanges, there are exchanges also through diplomatic academies of the Ministries of Foreign Affairs. Both academies, in your case I think this is diplomatic institutes, but nevertheless they both organize different trainings, seminar courses, and there is a regular exchange of the young Croatian diplomats coming here in Romania and vice versa. There are also exchanges on the level of Erasmus programs, students from Romania participating in Erasmus program in Croatia and vice versa, and not only with Bucharest University, all over the Romania, also with Cluj University, Iași University, and Timișoara especially. Timișoara is quite close geographically, yes.
As you mentioned, Croatia it's it's an attractive destination both for tourism but also for investment. What factors have contributed to the growth of economic partnership between Croatia and Romania?
I would say first of all when we happen to be together in the European Union, both countries. So Romania joined first, then later on Croatia. This facilitated a lot our especially trade exchange. The trade exchange is currently about, we are approaching 1 billion euros. And the first 5 months of this year show that there is also an increase. And this definitely facilitated. Then there are other factors, like, I don't know, for instance, I mentioned before, the Croatia Airlines, upon, I would say, big encouragement of the Croatian embassy in Bucharest, reintroduced the direct flights, and this is very important. The direct flights were already in place until 2019, but then there was a COVID period and the flights were suspended. This also helps a lot, and I hoped that with the time passing by, this will help more and more, because there is a big difference when you can travel directly or if you have to change the flights and spend almost half a day on a trip.
For this
so
exchange.
this is definitely something that, but also there is much more room to when it comes to the investments. Croatia has in place, the government put it in place, a lot of measures in order to attract the investors, but not only to attract, but in a way to make their life easier with a lot of incentives and so on. When it comes to our relation, I see a lot of space to, let's say, to boost our investments in both directions.
Could you highlight some of the key sectors where Croatian companies are active in Romania and where you see potential for future growth and cooperation?
Yes, with pleasure I can mention that last year, summertime, there has been signed a very important contract between Croatian engineering company Končar. They operated and they operate still in consortium with Romanian Electromontaj. Electromontaj is leading partner, and they signed the contract with Hydroelectrica for the revitalization of the Vidraru hydropower plant. Vidraru hydropower plant, it's very important, vitally important for Romanian economy, and especially in this part of Romania.
Yes.
And this is a 7-year project of the revitalization, restructuring of the hydropower plant, worth 200 million euros. So very glad that we have such a big project so it's a consortium of Croatian and Romanian company. The second field where the cooperation is very well going on, and the project is cooperation between the Port of Constanța and Port of Vukovar. Port of Vukovar is the river port in the eastern part of Croatia, on the border with Serbia, and Vukovar is in a way inland port for the Constanța flow of goods. And later on, there has been also signed a cooperation agreement between the port of Galați and again the port of Vukovar. So this Danube cooperation is going very well. Still potentials in the field of digitalization, energy, ICT.
It's related to my next question. How do Croatia and Romania economic relation reflects border European Union integration goals, particularly in these areas like sustainability, digitalization, and green energy?
There is a lot of potential for cooperation in the fields that you mentioned. For instance, digitalization. Croatia has some good example where, for instance, digitalization of the medical prescriptions.
Yes.
Or digitalization of some of part of the administrative practice, it's a portal called e-citizens. So basically, for some of the administrative procedures, the Croatian citizens, they can apply through this e-portal. This is one. Then the second is the field of renewable energies. Croatia is advancing quite well in this area, although still big part of our energy supply relies on the so-called traditional energy sources, but nevertheless there are many solar plants, windmills, setups for the wind power.
Yes.
Providing also small hydropower plants. There is a very good network of small hydropower plants. So those are definitely areas where we can cooperate, and those are at the same time the priorities of the EU economic growth plans.
SMEs are vital to both our economies. What opportunities exist for collaboration between Romanian and Croatian SMEs?
Many, I would say. I think that right now the most of the cooperation between the Romanian and Croatian SMEs goes to the trade exchange.
Yes.
But I think that there are many potentials in different fields. Croatian economy is relying on the SMEs. A lot of people has been employed in the small medium enterprises. I would say definitely, comparing also the Croatian size, some more than 500,000 people is employed in the SME sector. So for us it's very important, especially in the central part of Croatia, continental part. And in this sense, I think that there is a lot of opportunity of cooperation between Romania and Croatia. For instance, one of the good examples is that one of the Croatian small medium companies is producing the plastic parts for the automotive industry in Craiova.
How does the embassy support Croatian businesses operating here in Romania and encourage Romanian companies to explore opportunities in Croatia?
This is one of our main tasks, to support the companies and to boost the economic operation. So wherever they refer to us, for helping them, for providing them the information. For instance, our role can be different. Our role can be to provide them the information about the possibilities of cooperation or investments, of providing them with the necessary information of the, tenders, calls for application that are going on. The second way of how we can help them and contribute, it's that when there is a need, if it can be that they established already some cooperation with the Romanian companies, but then there is a need of helping them in arranging another meetings with the Romanian institutions, with the relevant ministries. Sometimes they ask us to help them in promoting their activities. So in arranging the meetings with the public institutions in order to promote their activities, what they can do. So one of the latest that I can mention, it was, for instance, some Croatian companies, they have good experience in digitalization of the financial sector or health sector. So, for instance, we help them in arranging the meeting in order to be able to present their activity. And who knows, then later on, this is the basis for possible and future cooperation.
Your Excellency, thank you once again for accepting our invitation. Today's conversation has taken us on a journey through Croatia, not only cultural and heritage and tradition, but also to its contribution to the global stage.
Thank you very much for being today in the embassy and for giving me the opportunity to say a little bit more about my country, and I do believe that this is the very good way to get to know Croatia even more better by our dear Romanian public.
Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to learn more about culture and diplomacy. I'm Catalina Damian, and see you next time.